And now we'll take a look at this Hoover Hushtone canister. Some people have compared these to other commercial tub vacs, like the pneumatic line. I prefer the pneumatic line over these, because while they do have a large bag, there's also a lot of area taken up in here by the space for the motor, space for the exhaust, and then of course the space for the intake. And the pre-filter is spendy, and it's attached to a hard piece up here, so it's not really like it can be removed and easily washed, unless you have something to suck the water out, like a shampooer. And then we have, this is not the original cord, it's just one they threw on it. I'm gonna guess the original must have died out. It has a plug, just like a computer cord. So I'm guessing that's what they tossed on here, was a computer cord. And then it has a little, the cord is supposed to loop into there to keep it from like pulling out of the machine, but this one's a little bit too wide, so it doesn't fit into it. And then as for cord storage, you just loop it like over your arm, and then you store it on here. You can store your floor tool. Or no, the floor tool doesn't have a... I'm trying to think now. It's like maybe there was some sort of bracket you could put onto this that would mate with that. Because I know this is some sort of tool parking bracket. It's just I don't seem to have whatever would mate with it. But, as we see here, it's a dry-only machine. And, this is the power button, and then we have a 2-speed motor in here. So you would just hit that for its low speed. Here's the model tag. Okay, so let's start with the usual. Wattage, voltage, all that stuff. And I think we'll measure that on both speeds just because. So, start it up. So let's now turn this down. I feel like that should be lower, the amps. Huh. Well, whatever. Unless... And we're going to start on low speed, and then we'll move to high speed. Turn it up. And now let's turn it back down and take a suction reading. There is a suction relief valve in these. Now let's turn it up. Let's cover this. Lots and lots of suction from one of these. Airflow, it's pretty decent, but it's not great. But yeah, lots of suction. And from what I saw on these, there's a Demel motor in them, which was a little bit surprising to see. Wasn't exactly sure what they would have in them, but my last guess would have been Demel. Alright, the hose on these is a bit longer than I remember, but it's a consistent 1 1/4 all the way through, so we're going to see a higher loss on it than we would something like a pneumatic, at least if memory serves. But once again, we're going to start at low. So let's see what we got. Seem to be holding, so let's take the suction test real quick and then we'll turn it up. Alright, let's go turn this up. Alright, let's see if I can do this one-handed. Okay, I'm going to have to put this down. There we go. Now we'll take a suction reading. So partially in the interest of saving time and partially out of sheer laziness, I'm going to skip the wand testing and just move right on to the floor nozzle. Let's move this in a little bit. Got this sealed up pretty well. That seems to be as much as we'll get from it. Yep. So let's try the suction. Lots and lots of leakage. Right around here in particular. Around here. I mean, just putting my hand over this. So let's go turn this up and then we'll redo this. Alright, we're now on high. We seem to be holding, so why don't we just go ahead barely hear it now. Pushing on the nozzle does nothing. It's only when you cover these pedals. But we also have a lot of leakage around the neck too. Well, there's obviously no agitation to speak of having one of these nozzles on here. But, well, it appears I actually had my brushes extended. Whoops. But having the tape around the perimeter, I don't think it's an issue. Because, I mean, it's still gonna have those leakage points. All we did was move a plate. Not a great floor tool, but we're going to open that up. No plowing. No plowing. Let's try a different tool. This one rolls a little bit easier. I mean, if you're working with glued down carpet, I think the original floor head would be fine, but if you got pile carpet, you either want to use the low speed or open up your relief valve. And you know, machine with this high of water lift figure to it runs a turbine quite well. And open that vent up. Yep, lots and lots of suction to the machine.